You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, June 5th show. You can also listen to our podcast, Facebook premiere show, or our show on our YouTube channel. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
It is a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about, how to make money, save money, so you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you are hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We are here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show today. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And now on our show, we have Mathew Heggem of Dashboard Enterprises. Tackle your business financials with the right team of professionals right here on 1150 AM KKNW. Mathew, welcome to the show.
Hi, Tina. Nice to see you again.
So excited to have you on the show. And a little bit about Mathew. Born out of New York, founded by Carol Salmon, Dashboard is an outsourced accounting department expanding into the Seattle area with a team of CFOs, controllers, and bookkeepers. They help their clients to address the day-to-day accounting needs as they deliver data that informs decision-making and long-term success. With 15 plus years of experience in the industry, Mathew's career highlights, including having been named as one CPA Practice Advisors 20 Under 40 Superstars and being featured as a speaker at conferences like QuickBooks Connect and XerxCon. Mathew is also a Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business alumni and serves as a member of Sage Accounting Advisors Council and a board member for Wix Talks Money.
You big rock star, you. That's quite
yes,
I sound very busy, right? Yeah.
Well, Keelan, we only have rock stars on the show, right?
Yes. And what a list of accomplishments. I want to start out with kind of the basics, and that's how you got started in accounting.
Yeah, good question. Well, I like to say that I'm perhaps the only dance major, I hope, that's ever received recognition from CPA Practice Advisor. And that speaks to, I think, my trajectory. It's a very non-traditional path. I started in the arts world. I was a starving artist in New York City, realized that that wasn't going to work out so well for my bank account and my well-being, and migrated my way over to the nonprofit world, found my way to workforce development and job training, ultimately where I discovered the value of the work that we were doing. We were teaching unemployed individuals how to enter into the workforce as accounting professionals. But what I realized at that time as I was doing that work is that the work we were doing was critical to small businesses maintaining their books, maintaining their finances, because that meant that they would be able to ultimately create more jobs and create sustainable businesses. So it was through that non-traditional path that I ended up in this industry.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of having some quality time with Mathew, and we're definitely going to have you back in, Mathew, to talk about your new play that you are currently in the process of completing. So, Mathew, let's talk about what inspires you about what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I think to sort of underscore the fact that what we do is critical to job creation and sustainability for small businesses, I think is certainly at the heart of it. But to the point of the topic that we're here to talk about today, the part of the business that I'm most passionate about is the people side. And really my job at Dashboard is to make sure that my team is growing and evolving as the needs and the demands of the clients grow and evolve too. And that really is my favorite part. It's like being able to coach them, support them, train them, guide them, mentor them, and help them to see how they can help our clients improve their bottom line is what it's all about for me.
I love that, Mathew. I can also relate to, I was a semi-pro soccer player at one point, figuring that I got to get a big kids job at one point, and an artist. And here I am helping people buy homes and finance. I think it's like a bigger holistic picture that you get, because you use that artsy side where you can kind of see that bigger picture. As far as what your company actually does, to dive in a little bit deeper, what do you guys actually do specifically?
Yeah, exactly. So, Tina provided a little bit of a description talking about outsourced accounting department services with the controllers, CFOs, and bookkeepers. But I think the best way to talk about what we do is by giving an example. And I'll give you an example of an e-commerce client who recently came to us. They actually had a pre-existing CFO, but the CFO was on his way out and needed some support to handle the day-to-day accounting. So we came in, helped him to set up his accounting system, or the accounting system for the business, and then worked with him on some of the reporting requirements that the e-commerce team needed, et cetera, ultimately creating a day-to-day accounting system for the business and serving as that sort of back office operational team to make sure that bills get paid, invoices go out, inventory is counted, financial reports are sent to the right people at the right time so that they can make important business decisions. That's pretty much what we do.
Yeah, and as a local mortgage expert, 26 years in the industry, I'm also a time management and business efficiency coach. And I always say, hiring out, embracing your strengths and hiring out your weaknesses, you need to have someone like Dashboard Enterprises on your team so that you can do what you're best at. So Matthew, let's talk about the start of Dashboard Enterprises. How did the company begin?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Dashboard is actually founded by Carol Soman, based out of New York. And, she started much the way that most accounting professionals think they're supposed to start. She got her CPA designation, but then rather quickly realized that that was not the path she wanted to take. And so she moved into the private sector and climbed her way through the sort of the finance department, if you will, becoming a controller and then ultimately a CFO. But what was really awesome about that journey is that along the way, she discovered a secret talent, if you will, a talent to find profit leaks. And she saved several businesses, thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, not by trying to improve the top line, but by looking at where the business was dripping money along the way and tightening those things up. We like to call her the profit leak queen. At Dashboard. She's definitely a gem. But yeah, that's how we got started. And she was done working with other businesses, and so she decided, you know what, I want to be my own boss. I want to grow my own business. So 9 years ago, she put up the shingle, and here we are, 9.5 years later.
I mean, how valuable is it? As your business grows, you make more profit, and there's so many ways you could be losing money and have no idea about it. And as Tina's point suggested, if you don't like doing it, you're not going to focus on it. So it just happens, and then you're bleeding somewhere you don't even realize. And that's why you need to get Dashboard and Matthew's team over there to get you all your little holes plugged up here. So
yeah, Keelan, as you being a financial advisor, the compound effect, identical to what Matthew's talking about, that compound effect on those little pennies and dollars that add up major
over time. We're talking huge money and the possibly the life or death of your business. So important that you pay attention to what matters, and that's the money. So what's happening in the industry currently that's impacting clients, Matthew?
Yeah, I think these are two really important items that I'm going to share with you because they aren't seen often on the front end, but they do definitely impact the clients who are receiving services from the profession. The first one is really around generational shifts that are occurring. There's a lot of leadership transitions, and that creates some friction on the management side of these businesses as they bring in the next generation. The follow-up to that actually has to do with technology. Technology has had a huge impact on our industry. A lot of the work is moving to the cloud, is automated, and unfortunately, some of the previous generation, they just can't or haven't gotten caught up yet on all the new tools that are available to the inbound clients who are trying to automate and reduce their workload. So those are two big trends that are happening.
So Matthew, what is the biggest challenge that you face when trying to support and help your clients right now today?
Creating fiscal discipline. We are the ones that say, no, you cannot spend that money. No, you cannot hire that person. No, you have to make a different choice. And really the reason why is because we're trying to help them just to maximize their cash flow. Cash is king or queen, depending on how you choose to say it. And it's critical that you keep that cash as long and as effectively as you can. And then from there, with that change management comes the discipline around not letting those profit leaks find their way back into the business. It's sort of the old patterns and habits that you have to keep at bay. And then the last piece of the puzzle, I think, is helping business owners to realize that they can have a completely different kind of a conversation with their accounting professional, perhaps one that they haven't had before. And that's, I think, that's really one of the biggest challenges, honestly.
Yeah, helping them create that new and better habit that's going to serve them at a higher level.
Exactly.
So I'm sitting here on the other end of this, and now you got me curious on the top 3 tips you have for business owners when it comes to their finances and business.
Got it. So I suggested one already, which is really to change your conversation with your accountant or your accounting professionals, which is a whole other conversation. But the second one that's really big right now is actually looking at your money mindset. The scarcity mindset does not help in having a conversation about cash flow and opportunity. And so we do some coaching in that space. And the third thing I would say, and we do this with all of our clients, even if it's not their intention, is to think about the design of your business as if you were going to sell your business in 5 to 10 years. It requires you to take a different level of integrity around all of the systems, all the structures, all the processes, et cetera.
Wow, great advice, Matthew. Team is so important. What kind of an accounting team do you need to have in place to have a successful business?
I would say the most important thing is an accounting team that is sitting on your side of the table. There's a lot of adversarial relationships, talking down. I know, you don't know, you're supposed to do this. Our take is sit on the same side with them and be partners in their growth. And that's the most critical piece.
Matthew, thank you so much for coming in and joining us on our show. It was a real pleasure to have a conversation with you, and you need to get scheduled. We need to talk about your play. Okay.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Tina.